All rise. Thank you. You may all be seated. Court is now in session. So we have a record against Officer Allen. You've convicted of child abuse and murder by executing them by hanging in 2021. What do you have to say?
So, I'm allowed child execution. Because bad kids need to be teach a lesson. Caillou and Dora are the worst troublemakers ever. They terrorized the subway station. Kill everyone on the train. They're nothing but a terrorist.
So you're the one who executing Caillou and Dora by hanging. Didn't you realize that is against the law? You've just violated the 8th and 14th Amendment. According to Roper v. Simmons case back in 2004. Simmons was only a minor that commits murder. Simmons said that executing inmate under the age of 18 is cruel and unusual punishment which is strictly prohibited in the U.S. And because of that, U.S. not allowed to executing children since 2005. You should be ashamed to yourself for what you did to Caillou and Dora. They're only 5 or 7 years old at that time, suffering abuse and traumatized their childhoods. You kept treat them like a slave. And because of that, executing anyone under the age of 18 also count as child murder and abuse. You've also convicted of second-degree murder and abusing a child under the age of 12. Didn't realize that abusing a child under the age of 12 can be sentenced to death? And because of this, I don't have another idea. This means you will die by lethal injection today. This is for your lesson for violating 8th and 14th Amendment, and also for what you did to that poor kids named Caillou and Dora. Guards, take him away. All case dismissed.
Please lie down the bed. Now let's begin your child murderer and abuser. For killing Caillou and Dora 3 years ago. Let's get started. The first syringe. Midazolam. 50 milligrams. The second syringe. Vecuronium bromide. 50 milligrams. The third and final syringe. Potassium chloride. 50 milligrams.
He's dead.
Today, I have news to share out. Officer Allen from Roku Kun The Vyonder has been executed by lethal injection last evening. He was convicted of child murder and abusing Caillou and Dora by illegally executed by hanging after their crimes they did in 2021. Which was violated 8th and 14th Amendment, because back in 2005 after the case of Roper vs. Simmons, it's illegal and prohibited to executing a child under the age of 18. And also back in 1972 Furman vs. Georgia. The executions was violated amendment of cruel and unusual punishment since over the past years. They had been executed over 159 to 364 child who was under the age of 18. Which was not fair and child abuse. Future juvenile offender. If you're convicted first-degree murder, just put to juvenile hall until they're turned 18. Or facing a life sentence with possibly of parole for decades. Not put them to death. And this is GoTube from WONN News. Signing off.